Good morning, everyone. Well, I'm watching a beautiful sunrise this morning, and got my cup of coffee here, relaxing and enjoying the morning. It's one of my favorite times of day. So usually when I wake up, I have my routine. I get up, I take a shower, start my coffee, check my messages on YouTube. Then I go check my garden. Then I start my day, and sometimes I do a video, sometimes I don't. But when I was checking my messages this morning, there was one on there from I think it was a female. I'm not sure, actually, now that I think about it. I'm pretty sure it was. On this video I'd made about DNA activation. And actually the title of the video was DNA activation is bullshit, which was maybe a little brutal, but I was trying to get the point across that most of this evidence that people have of DNA activation is merely anecdotal. And it's not that I'm in denial of the idea that our DNA can change. It's that I'm denying the folks that say that DNA is changing merely because they've heard it from other people. And this comment went something along the lines of this. She says, my daughter works for some of the top stem cell researchers in the country. And she said that a scientist had said that our DNA is indeed changing. And then went on to say how, as times change, our DNA is altering with it. And I said, all of this is great, and all of this is possible. But do you have a link? Do you have an actual scientific study to show me that DNA is changing? Because I will look at it. And if I was wrong, I'd look back and say, wow, I was wrong. Cool. Now I know something different. But so far, nobody's been able to present a single link to show me that DNA is actually changing, other than anecdotal evidence. So, at this point, I can't tell whether to talk about anecdotal evidence or DNA changing itself. I guess since I don't really have much more to contribute to the DNA thing, I'll just leave that as an example for the point I was trying to make. That all of us want to know things that are true. Well, not all of us, okay? A lot of us. We're willing to accept whatever is shown to us that has actual evidence. Now, meanwhile, some people take it to the point where they say, well, science is trying to obscure the truth, and so I don't believe science. Well, in that point, then we're totally lost. If we completely abandon the scientific method just because we think that they're not telling us what we want to hear, then we have nothing to go on whatsoever. In other words, that I'm not a major supporter of, science as being the be-all, end-all of life, but damn, it's the best we have. And in hundreds of years, since Descartes, nobody's been able to come up with really a better method. But still, this anecdotal evidence, which is evidence that's based on hearsay or a person's personal conjecture, opinion, seems to be the dominating force of the day. I don't know how many times I've heard somebody say something anecdotal that pertains to ancient cultures or spirituality, God, the existence of Earth, how the universe came into being, all of these things. And actually, the one lady that mentioned the thing about the DNA research, she said, you need to do your research, was one of her parts of the comment. And so my response back was, I need to do my research? Links, please? And, that may sound cheesy, but the truth is, in the world we live in, links are what we need, okay? I know that links don't always take us to truth. Links don't always take us to honesty. But links are what we have. And I'm talking, of course, internet links. We need to be able to confirm these things. And if a person wants to just believe it outright, merely because someone tells them, or because they heard it somewhere, and more often than not, I hear someone say, well, I've heard this in a lot more than one place. I'll say, well, of course you have, because these people are repeating stuff over and over and over. It doesn't mean it's true. So I guess what it comes down to is if you want to believe something's true and it's not, that's your choice. For me, I need an actual scientific basis to believe that our DNA is changing, or that there are really indigo children, or that look at the global warming argument. Okay, this is a scientific argument. Okay, and the two sides can't even come to a conclusion. Oh, it's man-made. Oh no, it's natural. It's man-made. It's natural. And then the people in the middle are just saying, well, it looks like it's a little bit of both. But we always want to take it to the extremes. Everything goes to the extremes. So anyway, that's what I've got here. I just think we owe it to each other and ourselves that if we're really going to talk about things that we're not sure about, that we can at least leave it open and say, this is what I think. Because if you can word something, if you can word a declaration with, I think this is possible or may be true, it goes over a lot better than saying this is a fact, if it's something that isn't indeed a fact. And I think that we do owe it to ourselves in this world to try to stick to facts as much as possible. Although I know that facts are not the be-all end-all of life either. Sometimes we need something a little different, and some people might call that faith. So between facts and faith, people find their happiness in life. If your faith outweighs your facts, then people are going to question you. And that's just how it is. So if you do have faith in something, if you have faith in something greater, say a God or, somebody looking out for you, that's fine. But if you have faith that DNA is changing just because if you've heard, because of what we've heard or something to that effect, that's just my example. That's not really faith. That's just believing what people have told us. So it's a big difference, and we're figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out for myself, how much I'm willing to believe and how much I have to question. Have a good night, good day, good morning, everyone.